genre.
Weekly podcast where we review, discuss, and recap every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Scott Corelli.
I'm Nick Jimenez.
And I'm Cassandra Fredrickson.
And today on the show, we'll be discussing Victory of the Daleks, the 11th Doctor's third story. And we will also be discussing the trailer for the Christmas special, The Return of Dr. Mysterio, but we're going to do that at the end. So stay tuned through our Victory of the Daleks discussion, and then we'll talk about that trailer. So, first off, a little bit of background on Victory of the Daleks. This is actually Mark Gatiss' first story since the Idiot Box, Idiot's Lantern. And this is actually his first story since then. He actually wrote a story called The Suicide Exhibition? Suicide Exhibition. Okay. The Suicide Exhibition, which was a Blitz set adventure that was going to be in Series 4, but was eventually replaced with The Fires of Pompeii. Gatiss, who was working with Moffat on Sherlock at this point, was, buddy-buddy with him, and so Moffat offered him the Dalek story because, he wanted to do a Blitz set story and Daleks, and he's always wanted to do a Dalek story set during the Second World War because the Nazis were a big inspiration for the creation of the Daleks. And so it just makes sense. And it's also kind of a love letter to the power of the Daleks, which is why...
The episode, not like the concept.
Right, which is why the Daleks say, I am your soldier, because it's a callback to saying, I am your servant in Power of the Daleks, which is a story that we talked about a while back.
Yeah.
And now has an animated version. So,
which none of us saw.
Well, I saw a bunch of it.
Oh, how was it?
It's good. It's been colorized now, too.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the black and white version is the version they sell, but BBC America, when they air it in color, I guess, because no one's going to watch
what?
Black and white.
Americans.
Yeah. It's weird. It looks weird in color because those characters in that world is not supposed to be seen in color, so it's a little weird. But you can find all the episodes on their website and stuff. So anyway. That is not the biggest notable thing, of course, from this story. The biggest notable thing, well, two big notable things. So first of all, this is just hilarious. Okay, so as we talked about in the previous stories, Russell T Davies had decided to do a historical figure in the past as the third story of the season. And then that sort of became an annual tradition with every season of his show. He kind of used that same blueprint. When Moffat took over the show, he was afraid that he was going to screw it up, which is funny
hard to think about
what happens later. But with Series 5, he wanted the transition to go as smoothly as possible.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
So he took Russell T Davies' blueprint and used it for Series 5.
This freaking blueprint.
This freaking blueprint that finally goes away in Series 6, and then everything falls apart as a result.
Yeah.
So maybe that blueprint had some merit. Let's not make fun of the blueprint.
You know what? I'm just saying, when Homeboy from Broadchurch takes over, maybe bring the blueprint back. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe go back to the blueprint. It's like back to the drawing board, but you don't have to draw much because there's a blueprint.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe episode 3, the Doctor will meet like Andy Warhol or something.
I'm surprised that that 11 didn't meet Warhol. That seems like an 11 thing to do.
I'm surprised Matt Smith has never played Andy Warhol.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. The cheekbones.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's using this blueprint in series 5, which is also the blueprint also contains an element that is hinted at throughout the season, only to be brought together in the finale. With that being Bad Wolf in series 1 and Torchwood in series 3 and Saxton in series 3 and whatever the hell Rose is doing in series 4. And then series 5 is the crack in the wall. So you can see the blueprint at work in series 5. And really, I think it's probably most successful in series 5 because it's a transition. And so you get this new voice in a familiar mold.
Oh, true.
You know? And I think it works the best here.
All glory to the blueprint.
Right, which is really great. And then you get to series 6 and then, all hell breaks loose and we end that season on the worst episode Doctor Who has ever done. So there's that. We'll get to talk about that story eventually. Yay!
Yay. Just what I've always wanted.
I'm not going to yay.
Okay, fair enough. So there's that. And then the other big thing, the thing that this story is probably most notable for is redesigning the Daleks, which they needed to make them bigger and taller to look more imposing next to Matt Smith and Karen Gillan, who are both much taller than David Tennant and his companions.
Really? How tall is David Tennant?
I thought they were the same height.
I have no idea, but they're not. David Tennant's shorter.
Really?
That literally ruptures my whole universe, imagining Matt Smith being taller than David Tennant.
Well, because look at Matt Smith next to Karen Gillan, and Karen Gillan is really tall.
Well, Karen Gillan's like 9 feet tall, but like...
Well, I know, but look at him next to her. They're like the same height.
I'm going to Google David Tennant's height real quick.
Yeah, and he's 6'1", so how tall is Matt Smith? Matt Smith is 6 foot.
Oh.
They are the same height.
Well, then what's the problem with the Daleks? Maybe the Daleks were designed after Eccleston? How tall is Eccleston?
Okay,
6
here
foot.
we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Google.
Okay.
So, when I Googled
It still
David
says
Tennant...
this.
So, David Tennant is 6'1",
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston is 6'0", Matt Smith is 6'0", and for some reason it tells me that Kristen Ritter is 5'9".
What?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That was just included in the information. Oh, probably because of Jessica Jones.
Oh, that makes sense. So then maybe it was based off of Billy Piper's height?
Look, if we're going to try
the point is they needed to redesign it so that Karen Gillan could look the Dalek in the eye.
Which is no easy task.
Right.
Huh.
Not when it's tall, not when it's short, because she's so much taller than Billy Piper. I thought it says that the doctor's height had something to do with it too, but that might be a mistake. But they needed to redo it, so they went to Peter Cushing's Doctor Who movie, and the Daleks there are really colorful. So they made the Daleks larger, gave them like color coding so that there's the white Supreme Dalek, the red Drone Dalek, the orange Scientist Dalek, the blue Strategist Dalek, and the yellow Eternal Dalek, which Moffat gave the name for and was going to think up why it's called that later and was hoping to come up with a cool Dalek story for that.
Spoilers, that never happened.
Spoilers, that never happened.
I thought they just rebranded the Daleks because they didn't want to use the old Russell T ones and they wanted more toys.
Nope.
Oh.
It was the height thing. It was a practicality thing.
Well, that's a little better, I guess.
They also never got to the purple Dalek, who would have been the Mary Dalek. He would have always had like a flagon of wine attached to its stock.
Yeah. So when that's the thing, and
Zounds!
they wrote the concept into the story, which was that Kieran Gillen is so much taller than the Daleks. They're not imposing, so they had Amy not take the Daleks seriously at all.
Which who would?
As part of the story. So,
But she doesn't even look the new Daleks in the eye.
I guess the plan was that she would. I don't know. I mean, look,
What?
I'm just telling you what the background is. I mean, look, I'm not making the decisions. I'm just saying what they were and why.
Yeah.
Do you remember how
These were the justifications.
Do you remember how hyped these multicolored Daleks were back in 2010?
No, and that's the thing that I was going to get at. Everyone hated them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like prior to them coming out, but like I remember it was like, the Daleks.
No, even when they came out, everyone hated them. Because everyone called them the Mighty Morphin Power Daleks.
Yeah.
Or the IMAC Daleks.
Rangers.
Yeah. I think you're misunderstanding. I meant hyped from the creative team. Like, not the fans.
Oh.
Like, I just remember Moffat and everyone being like, oh my god, when you see what we're doing with the Daleks, it's going to, like, change everything. And, like...
Yeah, and then they didn't do anything with them, and they went back to the old design.
We literally never see...
Oh, sorry. Is this the first instance of, like, the creative team hyping an episode and then it being, like, really awful for some reason? Like, because they did it with, like, the Pirates episode, and...
Yeah, it might have been. I think they mostly hyped the Daleks, though.
Because this was supposed to be, like, a new era for the Daleks.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, kids everywhere were going to know, like, oh, the white one is the bright power one, and the yellow one's the eternal.
Right.
I am the eternal Dalek. I'm yellow.
I honestly...
stars.
The thing, my problem isn't the colors. The colors don't bother me. I just think that they're ugly Daleks. Like, they're not shaped right. They have, like the back of them...
Quit body shaming the Daleks, bro.
The back of them is shaped weird. Like, they stick out.
Yeah, they're funkier.
I'm going to Google them. So I can't really get a picture of them in my head.
They're really bad looking.
They're really clunky.
And
they're like... I don't know. They're not as streamlined as the original ones, which is saying a lot because the original ones are like, garbage cans with a plunger.
Right. I don't mind the color scheme at all. I think if the Daleks had looked better and had still had the same color scheme, I don't think anyone would have had a problem with it, because I do like the idea of, like, adding sort of like a hierarchy to the Daleks. And I think that's cool, and I wish they would have leaned into it, because it's a really cool idea that they just dropped completely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of do that with classic Daleks too. Like, I know we haven't seen a lot of classic Dalek stories, but the one that I'm thinking of is the Seventh Doctor one, where they have like the white and gold ones.
Right.
And I don't know, I don't have a problem with those, but they just spray painted the old one's white and gold, so that's why it like.
Well, but and the other difference too, I think, is that in that case, those Daleks had been around a while, and these are supposed to be fresh off the assembly line,
right?
And so they're like shiny and new, and people are like, "Oh, they look so stupid," because they look like plastic. They look like they came out of the Apple store, and it's like, well, yeah, they literally did. I mean, they like came out of the Dalek Apple store. Like,
yeah,
that's the part of the story. I don't know.
You know what they kind of remind me of? The color Daleks, which I really wish I could come up with a different thing to call them, but they sort of remind me of the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. Like, it comes out and it's like,
go on.
I'm the Spinosaurus. I'm the new thing. Look at my spine. Yo, you like the T-Rex? You think that T-Rex was cool? I'ma eat it. I'ma kill it. And like, it was like the Spinosaurus was on all of the toys, all of the magazine covers for Jurassic Park 3. They really wanted you to be like, no, the T-Rex is over. Now it's the Spinosaurus. And, Guess who was in Jurassic World? The Spinosaurus.
It's not a real dinosaur, right?
Yeah, I think it was a real dinosaur.
Is it?
I mean, neither is a brontosaurus, but there's some of those in there.
No, they brought that back. They're real again.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're real again.
Triceratopses weren't real though, right?
Yeah.
No, they are.
Okay. Triceratops are real.
Okay, dinosaurs are weird.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're all birds.
Yeah, the Indominus Rex though, totes wasn't real.
Yeah, definitely not real.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what needs to happen.
It wasn't even real in the movie that it was real in.
No, yeah. What if that's the next step? What if they try to make the Indominus Rex of Daleks? They're like, all right, backtrack. Okay, look. Colors did not work. Colors not work. Colors bad. Make bigger, make angrier, white Dalek. Mush together, make all things one. And
oh my God! Imagine a Dalek with cloaking powers.
That would be so scary. Like invisible, and they just like, whoop, tee hee.
My God!
You can't see me. It does like the John Cena hand thing with its stock. Can't see me. What if every time the Daleks showed up on the bridge of a ship, they played the John Cena intro music?
Oh my God.
Hello, we're back.
Oh man. All right.
So it's World War II. It's the height of the London Blitz. The pensive children have been sent away. For context. And Winston Churchill summons the doctor. We saw this at the end of The Beast Below. Summons the doctor to come assist because the doctor and Winston Churchill are old friends. And yes, but much to the doctor's amazement and later outrage, the Daleks have actually joined the Allied forces. And they're serving tea, but they're called Ironhides. And they've been...
Ironhide?
Ironside.
Yes, Ironside.
Sorry, Ironhide is a transformer.
Ironside is the... wasn't there like a show called Ironside about a dude in a wheelchair? Like, he was like... It was
he was like a detective.
Yeah, it was like House or Castle.
Yeah.
It was called Ironside, and he was in a wheelchair. Yeah. I'm angry in a wheelchair. Yeah. It lasted like 4 episodes and got canceled.
Yeah. So
because it was called Ironside.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh,
about a dick in a wheelchair solving crimes.
Dick in a wheelchair would be an amazing title for a show.
Oh no. Oh God. Anyway. Yeah,
remember when they tried doing Dick solving crime, but it was with Dwight from The Office?
Right.
I'm glad that subgenre is kind of going the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess it kind of. Yeah, I guess it is. Well, Lucifer would probably be the last one, right?
Sherlock.
I guess after Lucifer, they're just like, well, what do? We made the devil solve crimes. Like,
who else can solve crimes?
Who else can solve crimes? I mean, I think that's pretty much I think that's it, right? That's
Hitler, but he's like a sexy Hitler.
Oh God!
I swear to God, if they do like Hitler MD next,
Hitler MD,
Hitler MD.
Welcome to the Alt-Reich.
No.
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 So there's Daleks running around or wheeling around, and they're adorable. They have their little med packs, and they're all green, and they're like, "Would you like some tea?"
So I
give Uncle Adolf a sock in the jaw.
It's a mixed message.
Every bullet you buy is a barrel in your best guy's gun.
What?
Every bond you buy is a bullet in the barrel of your best guy's gun.
Okay, I guess that wasn't as much of a mixed metaphor as the other one.
Oh my god. I want all of the Captain America propaganda to be read as a Dalek from now on. That's the Oh.
Strong and brave, here to save the American way.
Daleks chanting Captain America.
Just background dancers, they're just like the Rockettes.
Oh my god, they just spin on the spot.
What is this?
Yeah. So I will say, other than Churchill, which is awful.
He's no John Lithgow.
No, he's not good at all. Like, this guy, I like him and stuff and other things that he's been in.
What else has he been in?
Oh, lots of things. He's like one of those, like, that guy actors, character actors. His IMDb is like massive. But I think his Churchill is terrible. He doesn't sound remotely like Churchill. For some reason, I don't think that this guy's ever heard a Churchill speech before. And he's just seen pictures of Churchill and he's like, oh, so he smoked cigars. And that's it. That's his whole performance. It's not good. But other than him, I enjoyed this story a lot until I was getting toward the end. And I was like, man, why is it that I don't like this? I always remember not liking this.
Oh,
and
is
then
it
the bomb thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, right.
Oh, I was going to say, surely you loved Allied bombing planes in outer space.
I mean, didn't they have a dumb Doctor Who reason for that?
One of them, by the way, I never knew this, but Johnny Boy?
Yeah, voiced by Mark Gatiss, right?
Never knew that was Mark Gatiss.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
Oh, really?
That was amazing. Yeah, that's Mark Gatiss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
Kind of almost a weird kind of King Kong move, you know, like how every King Kong movie, the director of the movie always has to play the pilot that shoots down Kong.
I really, so the bomb thing is so dumb. The bomb thing feels like a Russell T Davies thing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It
Did you know
doesn't
they made
feel
Winston
of this
Churchill
era.
action figures based on this episode?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at this picture right now. He looks like a bulldog. Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
So anyway, the bomb thing is stupid.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't really, okay, so like
it's Deus Ex Machina. It has nothing to do with anything. It's not thematically relevant to the story at all.
Well, yeah, because like we get the feel, I thought they were going to make, every time I watch this episode, because I mean, I've seen this probably 3 or 4 times, but it's like years apart, you know?
Uh-huh.
And every time we get to this moment, it feels like they're trying to make a statement about what the Doctor thinks makes you human, which is like pain and loss and trauma, versus what Amy thinks makes you human, which is like love and happiness. But then it kind of fizzles out.
Yeah. It doesn't follow through on any of it.
And it's also not like that's been an argument they've been having throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Right.
I think what it might supposed to be is like, because he's invented by the Daleks, like, what's the one thing a Dalek can't do? It's like, you know, like genuinely care about somebody, which might be what they're going for, but it's really muddled.
But none of that is
word.
real, right? He doesn't have real memories because he's not a real person.
Yeah, he's a host.
Well, no, but he's like capable of those, like feeling those things. So he's, I don't know.
And that makes
he's
him
a real
human.
boy now, I guess. I don't know.
You know what's interesting though? He was created by the impure Daleks.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he was able to, because because the reason that the World War II Daleks create the Mighty Morphin Daleks is because the race has become impure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which also I thought wasn't explored nearly enough, because that's an interesting the concept of Daleks being like, we're impure, we must create new ones to kill us. Like, that's fascinating, but it's like barely a minute.
Well, okay, so I want to do something fun.
Okay, cool.
I want to think about this story from the perspective of the Daleks.
Okay.
So prior to this story, these Daleks, the last Daleks in existence, because that's always the case with every Dalek story.
One ship got away.
Right. From their last encounter, which
turned Andrew Garfield into a pig.
What was their last? Was that no? That was series 3.
Oh, okay.
Journey's End, wasn't it?
Were they in that? Oh, right.
Yeah, because Stavros.
Because they kill the Doctor.
Yeah, they referenced that in this episode.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So I was trying to remember what the last story was, because they said our last encounter, but that was kind of like all they said. So anyway, so they're the last ship, and they're like, okay, we need to make more Daleks.
Only 3.
And so they go to the ship and they're like, hey, you've got that pure Dalek DNA that we love so much.
Yeah, bro.
Why don't you make some more Daleks? And they're like, well, the ship is like, well, you're made of Davros, and Davros isn't Dalek technically.
What?
So I can't trust that you're Dalek until you have proof that you are.
Yeah. The ship essentially like locked them out, like for giving the wrong password too many times.
Right. So then the Daleks are like, okay, well, we need proof.
How do we prove
that we're Daleks? So how can we get proof? Well, we could, if the Doctor said we were Daleks.
Use your thumb.
Then the Doctor said we were Daleks. Then the ship would be like, oh, well, if the Doctor says it, then it must be true. Well, how can we get the Doctor to claim that we're Daleks? Well, we could go to Earth and he would come investigate. Well, but he would just fight us and we would lose because we're dumb Daleks and he's the Doctor. So we're going to pretend to be good, but no one's going to pretend that we're good if we're coming out of nowhere. So we need someone to, quote unquote, invent us so that we can pretend that we're the fat, stupid robots that we really are inside. So that, and make enough of a scene that the Doctor comes and checks it out, and then gets really upset.
We'll make him
beats
Superman.
beats us up, and says out loud, "I am the Doctor. You are the Daleks."
Testimony. Testimony.
I just think that Dalek was just like, oh my god, he said the thing. It would be like,
you can't say that on television.
It's like the equivalent of when you go see a movie and they say the title of the movie in the movie.
They get so,
but like
so
times
excited.
1,000. Yeah. Because who knows how long they've been waiting for this moment. And he didn't just like say something that they were like, well, maybe this will work. No, he said exactly what they needed him to.
Oh my God, it worked. Steve, it worked. 8 years in the bunker. It worked.
Well, they've only been there for a few months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too.
How do they make a person?
I don't know. Robot parts.
Make human out of robot parts.
They called up the Cybermen and asked for a favor.
What? Make human, Doc. Make a human for us. Do it nice. Make it look real good. Make human.
What?
No.
Oh my God. Make it Scottish. Why is he Scottish?
Make it Scottish like the last Doctor. Yes. Give it love. Give it memories. It has to be real. Make it love. Give it a girlfriend.
You know.
Make its parents dead. Orphans. Orphans are dramatic. Oh, humans love it when their parents are dead.
So good at building this robot with feelings when they don't have any.
I don't know.
There's like one Dalek that's like, key to making human is giving bad memories.
Oh my God.
We are the product of our traumas.
I really hate that scene where the Doctor and Churchill are arguing about how the Daleks are evil, and he's like, "No, they're my soldiers, and they're gonna kill a bunch of Germans, bunch of Krauts."
Daddy.
And he's like, he goes, "Well, then why did you call me and say you need help?" And he's like, "Well, that was a month ago. I reconsidered." And I'm just like, "Oh my God!" It's like the most awkward, bad continuity dialogue.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to set up the episode for some reason in the previous episode, so they had him call, and then now they need a reason for why the phone call was there.
And that cliffhanger was so awesome. Like Winston Churchill looking, and you see the outline of a Dalek.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's that about?
Yeah. But you don't need that if this is what the story is.
Exactly. Like separately they're interesting, but together they kind of cancel each other out.
Right. It's like it's like that Russell T Davies thing I was talking about in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's like he wants the cliffhanger, but he also wants the episode to be as it is.
Yeah.
And so he just goes with both.
I could have watched an 8-part miniseries of what Scott's talking about, which is just like those 3 Daleks, like halt and catch fire, like planning it all out. It's not working.
Guys, how many robot professors do you think they built before they made the one that works?
Ready, Professor Ready. Come look at the professor, and then like
it's just like Professor 1.0. He like stands up and just starts spinning around in the torso and screaming.
Failure.
They just have to exterminate it.
Failure. Kill it. They just like shoot.
Just a montage of them building so many professors.
A Dalek.
The Doctor was like wandering around the Dalek ship, and he found their closet where all the dead professors are.
God.
Not for human eyes. Just a doctor, just a Dalek writing on a chalkboard, like recipe for humans.
While another Dalek looks and lifts up a mug of coffee and takes a sip.
Do you think
a Dalek puts out a cigarette?
I can't nod, but I agree.
Do you think that is supposed to be like a nod to Evil of the Daleks with like the whole human factor thing?
Well, I would hope that it would be that and not Daleks Take Manhattan.
Oh God. Yeah, that's true.
Human must get what wants, but in different way. Arc only meaningful if human learns. Do another draft. Just throws a paper at a Dalek.
I mean, there had to have been a ton of frustration about getting the professor human enough.
Make it a bomb, too. What? Give it bombs.
Also, the effect of the bomb chest is the fakest thing I've ever seen.
No, he looks like Gizmo Duck.
Yeah. It's really bad.
So, did the Daleks also design the color Daleks? Because that's another meeting I would love to be a fly on the wall for.
I think they just got spit out by the glowy egg thing.
I want them to have designed them.
Yellow means eternal. Yellow color of eternity. White pure.
So, there was a fourth Dalek, but he said they should make one of them green, and then they're like, exterminate.
We are green, stupid. Another thing this episode is responsible for are those amazing To Victory posters that you see at Borders all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
we have one of those in our apartment.
Yeah.
I'm staring
That's
at
so
it right
funny
now.
that you have that and then you hate this story.
I don't hate this story. I like this story.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
I just hate the Go-Go Dalek Rangers. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
What if they had done that? What if, you know what would have been amazing? They come out, you know, because there's like fog. They really hype it up. They're like, a new age of the Dalek begins. And they all come out. And then they do the dance musical number from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That would be incredible.
That's what I want. I want a Dalek musical number.
I think we all want that.
I want 2 Daleks doing all of La La Land.
I want to see La La Land first. Or maybe I don't.
City of Stars.
This episode also, fortunately or unfortunately, but depending on who you ask, brought us the Jammy Dodger.
Oh, true.
Man, I feel stupid watching this episode now and not immediately getting that that's a cookie. Because
Oh, yeah.
I fell for it the first time. I'm like, oh, that was
Yeah.
a cookie the whole time?
Yeah. I've had Jammy Dodgers. They're good.
I'm not going to lie, I did not know what a Jammy Dodger was when I watched this back in 2010, but I have since learned what they are, and I always think of this episode whenever I see a Jammy Dodger.
Oh, see, what's funny is now, like, I don't think of this episode. I think of the America two-parter in Series 6.
Oh, where he goes,
Silence.
I need like 2 things with Jammy Dodgers and a fez.
Yeah. That's what I always think of. But, yeah, Jammy Dodgers, one of Eleven's many repetitive quirks.
Yeah. He doesn't have the fez yet, right? No, that's
that comes in
that's
the
the end of the season.
Yeah.
the Big Bang.
Yeah.
That was
Ooh, I
really
like-
funny the first time it happened.
I like that he has his secondary outfit on. I like the blue better than the red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I.
We're a secondary outfit household, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think we are.
Guys, I want a Dalek thing.
A Dalek thing?
Yeah, I want something Dalek-y.
Oh, like a tiny Dalek?
Yeah, like a Christmas ornament or a stuffed animal or something. I don't know.
Stuffed animal.
Yeah. Something to hug.
little squeaky toy you can bring in the bathtub with you.
Yeah. Rubber Dalek, you're the one. Rubber Dalek, I'm awfully fond of you. Exterminate. Exterminate dirt.
My God.
Bath time.
Oh, God.
All good little boys take baths. Oh my God! Imagine like Nanny McPhee, but a Dalek.
So I will say the
Responsible.
bunker I really like the bunker set, which isn't a set; it's a location.
Oh, sweet.
Really?
They are in an actual World War II bunker that
Nice.
they shot this in. I think it's normally a museum, and they got the museum to agree to let them shoot there.
I am super into the patriotism that you can feel in this episode.
Yeah.
You really do feel like this is very much like a love letter, and there's like little references to like a lot of World War II movies and like serials and stuff, and you can just feel kind of like Gatiss, kind of like, yeah, Britannia, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I other than Winston Churchill, I love this story until the chest bomb happens.
And, Bracewell is a very likable character, to his credit.
Yeah. I don't think you can love a bomb to shut down. Like, I don't.
Well,
that's not how.
Well, I think you need to learn. I think you need to learn how to stop worrying and love the bomb, Scott.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This
Nailed
episode
it.
is over.
Oh my lord.
So yeah, any closing thoughts on this one?
It's fun. It's more fun than I remember. I definitely walked away from this viewing liking it more than I remembered liking it.
Yeah, I guess it was about the same. I think I've seen this one more. I think I've just seen series 5 more than the other ones. But I don't know. I always enjoyed this one, except for dumb Daleks, because dumb.
Well, you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
I liked it when the Dalek gets pushed and he does that little spin. That's always good.
Yeah. See you guys.